I am what I am. I am what I am just because of my failures. The way the failures have taught me, nothing can be a better teacher. Similarly, in the cybersecurity industry, the way the adversarial events have shaped up this industry, nothing can make or do a better thing for the cyber industry. So let's look at some of these things and events that happened in the past that has shaped up the entire cybersecurity industry that we are proud of today. Just a quick memory or down the lane, memory lane of what happened in the cybersecurity industry since 2013. 12th December 2013, then 21st October 2016, 12th May 2017. I'm pretty sure everyone would remember what they were doing, what coffee, what cafe were they in, what tea they were sipping, what breakfast they were having on 12th of May 2017, 19th July 2019, and 19th July 2024. And in fact, even though this is something very old, but I'm a big fan of Kishore. Even though this song was sung and created 50 years ago, it still hits very differently, and it's still very, very relevant for us today. And for folks who may not be, and for folks who do not speak Hindi, do not understand Hindi, we also have the English version of it, so that you get the essence what we are talking about. I think Kishore was the real visionary, because he could anticipate this back 50 years ago. That is the reason, we should look at the fact when we are talking about adversarial events that happen in the cybersecurity industry, we should understand that the architecture matters. Because architecture is the foundation on which your building is built. When you go to a builder to get a house built, the first thing that they do is to build the architecture, to build the blueprint. And if that is bad, the entire building that you have built will not last long. So the architecture matters. And because of the architecture, or architecture is the difference between it can happen to anybody to no, it cannot happen to everybody, but the ones who are not taking the architecture or the right architecture approach. And what is the right architecture? We see, there is quite a lot of buzz in the LinkedIn saying that, okay, EDR needs constant updates. Today also everybody talks about that EDR needs constant updates. But is it not the same story that we have been hearing all along? Since 2005 or even before that your antivirus needs constant signature updates. Then did we even make any progress? If today also in your EDR you need frequent updates from the cloud, that means the architecture has not changed. Now the way the content updates is being pushed has been changed. But that is an antiquated approach, a traditional approach. The architecture that SentinelOne follows, when SentinelOne does EDR, we follow the same AI approach and take it to the next level. This AI-enabled agent does not require frequent updates. If it requires frequent updates, then it's not AI. It is signature and fancy rules that require constant updates. When an attack is occurring, it should be able to stop that attack autonomously than waiting for an update to be downloaded and then stop the attack. So the architecture does matter, and it is very, very important. And how an architecture can help you or draw the line between what is right and what is wrong. And talking about the architecture is not something that can be done overnight. Architecture is not something, okay, I realize my architecture is wrong. In just 1 week, I can change it altogether. The architecture comes from day one, the inception of the company, the mindset that you bring on the table, the mindset based on which your company is all formed. And that mindset in SentinelOne is AI-driven DNA, where we are not just using AI just for the heck of it, but to achieve a certain mission, which is autonomous security operations. So in 2013, we envisioned that the agent has to be a smart agent. It cannot be a dumb agent. It cannot be an agent that requires frequent update. It cannot be an agent who is always checking with the boss. Boss, am I doing it right? Boss, can I just send this email? This agent is smart. When you hire cybersecurity professionals, do you want them to check with you every time they take an action? Are your phones buzzing right now when your security operations center analysts are taking actions? No. You expected them to take the wise decision. And that is what we worked upon. The agent has to be autonomous, something that can take the action and the detection and the action within the agent itself without requiring cloud connectivity. So we started in 2013, we pioneered the autonomous EDR, then we pivoted with the same concept to do open XDR and AI-driven XDR. Then we acquired 2 phenomenal companies, or 3 rather. One was Scalar back in 2021, which gave us the scalability of the data lake. Then PingSafe, the company who was founded in India, and Ativo Networks on the identity security side. And because of all these innovation that we have been building into the product, today we have something called AI SIM. And now you may be wondering, AI SIM, oh, I have not heard of that. I have always seen SentinelOne as an EDR company, that they do EDR. What is AI SIM? And why do we need AI SIM? The reason is that SIM technologies were dead for a long time. It's just that they were cremated recently. And you all know what we are talking about. That approach is a big enough hint that the SIM approach that was taken traditionally is not working anymore. It has to be rethought. And rather than just talking about product, one should be taking an outcome-based approach to reimagining and reinventing SIM. And that is where AI SIM comes into the picture. In fact, when you talk about SentinelOne, when you talk about EDR, we always say that EDR should be super fast. If the attack is happening right now, the EDR should be able to stop that attack right away. But unfortunately, even though your EDR was super fast, your SIM was not keeping up to the speed and was not matching the speed of your EDR. And that was causing a lot of problem in your security operations center. And that is the reason why this needed to be reinvented. And in SentinelOne, rather than taking an approach that, okay, we also have a SIM platform, We took an outcome-based approach to designing and offering the SIM product in the market. We already had all the recipe. We were offering SIM since last 2 years. But we were not calling it so, because we were focusing on the outcomes, and the outcomes that you were looking for were already getting delivered from the same platform. But as the market is familiar with the term SIM, that's where the same concept, the same outcome comes from the AI SIM. One of the challenges you may also be experiencing with your SIMs are that your SIMs are always outdated. I'm not talking about the technology right now. Your SIMs are always showing you outdated data and outdated dashboards. Something that happened 2 hours ago, that is now being updated on your SIM. So an event that occurred at 10 a.m., the dashboard will process this event at approximately 12 noon. So whatever data that you were always looking at was completely outdated, which was causing a lot of problem, because when you are making a decision, you are making an outdated decision or decision based on outdated data. So with the AI SIM approach, you can achieve more outcomes and less acronyms. Just remove the acronyms from the conversation and just talk about the outcomes. 50% lower operational cost, 99% reduction in risk, and 246% return on investment is something the AI SIM customers and clients have been able to achieve in their journey so far. And it is because of the reason that now you no longer have to wait for 2 hours before the event that happened at 10 a.m. to show up on your dashboard. The moment this event has happened and occurred and is going through the pipeline to get ingested into the SIM, your dashboard is updated with the real-time insights. Do you want a live data or do you want an old data? Do you want to see the data across multiple years, multiple months at once? Or let's say if your CEO, CIO asked you to do some analysis that, okay, show me all the security events from the last 1 year. Then you will first go to your backup repository, get the backups mounted onto your primary SIM, and then after doing the mounting, now you're doing the search in 2 different data storages. That becomes so cumbersome. With AI SIM platform, all the data that you have is all hot. No semi-hot, no cold, it's only hot data that will be stored in your data. You no longer have to mount a cold database, cold data lake, backup, or whatsoever. And with the use of generative AI, natural language processing, it becomes a lot more easier. Now you can, rather than creating those complex dashboards, you can just write, okay, show me all the events that impacted the CEO's laptop in the last 365 days. And that's it. Just this plain, simple English, and you have the answer, the data speaking to you in the language that you understand. So, one agent, one platform, one language. Now, there is no fight about the language here. No matter what systems you are using, from what vendor are you using? Are you using Netscope? Are you using Zscaler? You are using Okta? All the data schema that comes from multiple vendors will be transformed into one single industry-agnostic schema framework, which is OCSF. And because of which, you get a lot more power, because you only have to write the query in one single language and the data only speaks one language. That is the true nature of unification. One single platform, one single agent, one single language to comprehend. And not just the platform, but the products that can help you get started with your EDR journey, XDR journey, and even the SIM journey. You can integrate your third-party products to the same SIM platform and still have all of them speak the same language. And in SentinelOne, when we talk about SentinelOne, as much as we are a global company, we are an Indian company at the same time. We are investing heavily into data center or heavily in India with a data center in India to align with the localization and regulations, data localization requirements, and new privacy regulations that may come in. On-premises, Indian organizations, because of privacy reasons, security reasons, want on-prem deployment, so we have the flexibility. We have the teams, the product teams, the research team, the support team very much based in India and not just the account team. And we are also Make in India because of the two companies that we acquired in India, Ativo Networks and PingSafe. Some of the statistics, without taking too much of time on it, we are the fastest growing public cybersecurity company in the world with 2,500 plus employees across the globe with a high rate of growth year over year. And the approach that we have been talking about all this while has been validated, has been verified and demonstrated good results in third-party validations, industry validations like MITRE, Gartner, Frost & Sullivan, and a lot more. If you are facing any problem with your SIM or anything, we are always happy to have a conversation. And on that note, thank you very much for your patient listening, and happy to speak to you after this after the stage. Thank you.
Thank you.